It is Monday that we're filming this, and it just dropped. But this video is going to be dropping on a Wednesday. So you're going to end up seeing what we're talking about from the past. I guess is the way to go is over with it. This is something I'm going to try dashing into, try doing this as it pops up. The nerdum, the geekery over here at the Bear's Lair. So we're going to dive in and be able to see what we have. Because this dives into a couple different ways that we can end up going. So we'll switch it on over and we'll switch it over in 3, 2, 1, switch. All right, so they have the most powerful secret drop in the universe. So what is this? Well, this is going to be Magic the Gathering. If you don't know what that is, that's from Wizards of the Coast. Magic the Gathering is a card game that you can end up playing. A big thing that we focus here on is on Commander, and that's what's going to be playing a role into this. Secret Lairs offer different arts and ways that you can end up customizing your deck and getting stuff that you want. So we're going to dive into this Secret Lair, or should I say Super Drop that, or Secret Lair Super Drop that we're going to end up diving into. So this is going to be the card that's going to be featured that you can end up picking up. I think it's awesome because it follows right into the meme. Oh, maybe I should be saying the theme. This is going to be He-Man and the Masters of the Universe theme is what this entire Super Drop is going to end up being. It's going to have He-Man, and then it's also going to have She-Ra. It's going to have some craziness that comes over with it. We're starting off with the meme right off the get-go with Song is counter a target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying. Okay, that's a good counter spell. It's cheap. It's an effective. This is going to be one of those cards that if you spend $149 or more, you'll end up getting one of these cards. But the problem is I believe these always end up becoming limited, and they're like, what, 200 or something like that? Let's read the article real quick. If you ask yourself, hey, what's going on? Details are right here. You receive one foil for every 144 while supplies last. So yeah, this is going to be like, normally there's like 200. So you want to be the first of the 200. I doubt that you'll ever be over with that. However, I guess the big justification is that over $100 you get free shipping. But either way, that's what we're going to come over here for. That would be an awesome card to get. But like I said, that's a meme and that would be great. But let's dive into what the actual Secret Lairs are. These are what we're here to be able to talk about. This is going to be the Secret Lair of Masters of the Universe by the power of Grayskull. That's what this lair is going to become. This is going to be 5 cards that you're going to be able to get. And sometimes these lairs come with a bonus card that they don't end up showing. So the first one that we're going to have here is He-Man, Champion of Eternia. That's a new skin of Wyona, Joiner of Forces. That's normally a Stax commander that they have, and you want to have a bunch of non-human creatures in there with a little mix of humans, because your non-human creatures can end up bringing out the humans. So it's kind of one of those little tricky ones that ends up having stacks, which is stuff that makes your spell or other people's spells cost more to play. Crackle of Power is a good sorcery that you have where you end up doing 5 times the damage, which is the X to X amount of targets. Orko, Tutorian Magician, is a copy of Dylan, the Wild Mage. And that's one of those that you saw from the D&D set that you ended up having, where you actually end up rolling a dice, and what you end up rolling, end up seeing what you end up getting out of that entire card. Man of Arms is a copy of Bruno, the Battle Hammer. And that ends up having it where equip for each creature you control that gets a +2/+0 for each equipment attached to it. So whenever you have more equipment on a creature, it ends up getting that nice little buff. And then you may pay 0 rather than paying the equip cost of the first equip ability to activate each turn. So the first time you go equip something, which is like your equipment, like a sword or something like that, it'll end up being free. We got a perfect example right here with He-Man's battle harness that costs 2, but it's really Condu's Batter, where it can be only attached to a legendary creature. Creatures that share the color with the equipped creature gets +1/+1. Creatures that share the creature type with the equipped creature gets +1/+1, and it costs 2 to equip. So if you have this Man of Arms out there, and this is your first one to equip, it will cost 0. Solid thing. You have a non-foil that you can pick up for $29.99, and you have a foil that's $39.99. Honestly, the values isn't going to be there at most of these, and I don't think that any of these are huge craziness. Wyona is definitely a more CDH commander, but it can end up being a little bit more casual. And then Bruno Battlehammer, it would be a good for equipment cost. Other than that, none of these really have my super interest into them. So we'll go down to the next one. It's going to be the Nyah-ha-ha. So this is going to be your Skeletor. It's going to be crazy with it. You have Skeletor, Lord of Destruction, costs 1 black. Why is that? Because he's Tiny Bones, the pickpocket. So this, I believe, was in Outlaw Junction is where this ended up coming from. It has Death Touch. It's a 1/1, and then whenever Skeletor deals combat damage to a player, you may cast a target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard, and the mana of any type can be cast to play it. The big one that I think that's in this one, it would be the next card, would be Skeletor's Villainous Glee. And this is one of those I'll be super interested in having, because this is, I end up loving this. This is actually Tasha's Hideous Laughter, another D&D set card. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until that player exiled cards with a total mana value of 20 or more. So that's going to be amazing. Then you have the Castle Grayskull with the Bottomless Pit. It costs 3, 2 black, and 1. And at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card at random. Has some good flavor text as well that you end up having. Necrogen Mist, which is also reskinned as the Evil Warrior's Shroud. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card. And then we have the Rally with the Evil Warriors as the Breach of the Multiverse. Each player mills 10 cards. For each card, or each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard, and then put them onto the battlefield under your control. Each card you control becomes a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. Another one that I'm not going to be super excited for, and not one I'm going to be picking up, but it still has the cover cost of $30 for a non-foil and $40 for a foil. Now, this one I have some interest into. This is the one that I would be probably saying I'm more interested into it. Why is this? Because my Universal's Beyond deck is looking for a Captain Sensei, and this has one. The only other one was from a, what was that show or movie? The Princess Bride, which I'm not really super cool with. But since we're talking about that, we have She-Ra, Princess of Power. Costs 2 and a white, so 3 altogether. It's a reskin of Sensei Weatherlight Captain. It's a 2/2. And then she gets a +1/+1 for each color among other legendary permanents you control. And then we can pay 5 colors, all 5 colors, white, blue, black, red, green. Search your library for a legendary permanent card with a mana value less than She-Ra's power, and put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So, in my Universal's Beyond deck, I have SpongeBob, which is a reskin version of Yoda, the Unifier, where every legendary creature gets a +X/+S equal to the amount of legendaries that we have. I'll slap a picture right over here of what I'm talking about, and you'll end up seeing that. And that's going to be going right nicely because this lets me tutor for anything. I have a regular Kempton Sensei in there, and I think it'd be time to upgrade that since that's finally a Universes Beyond. You end up getting Silence, where you can end up paying a white, and your opponents can't cast spells this turn. You get Shift Wind, Steed of She-Ra, costs 2 and 2 white, and it's really a reskin of Amelia the Blessed, another unicorn commander that people end up liking. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a home for that yet. Oh, maybe I should pop that in there because it'd be a legendary thing. Maybe that might end up making it too, because it's a blank thing. You get the Bow Master Archer. It costs 2 red, or it costs a red and a green for a 3/3, and we can sacrifice it. Our legendaries get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn. So if I see a board wipe, I can sacrifice this guy and save my board most likely. You get Katara, Force Captain, which I believe that is the other side of She-Ra when she was brainwashed that you end up having. But that's a reprint of Kazuo, Malik's Zakular. And then we end up having Soul Ring, which is a textless and a full art. I think that card is going to look amazing as a foil. Oh, man. I think that these guys are going to be amazing as foils. That might be very tempting. But it has a price of $30, and the foil is $40. So I don't really... this is, if I'm picking up one, this is the one I want. But I really doubt it because normally Secret Lairs are... Once they sell out, they sell out. So that's going to be the big sad part about that. So we'll end up seeing... then you have the Secret Lair of Allies and Enemies of Eternia, where you have Manny Faces being a reskin of Sakashima the Imposter. Beastman, Savage Huntsman, is as Kona the Rescue Bestie. Evil Lyn, Warrior Goddess, is being a reskin of Enrente Resurrected. The Sorceress, the Heroic Guardian, is a reskin of Duretti, a power tactician. Tila, Warrior Goddess, is a reskin of Samet, the Voice of Dissent. And then we finally have Trapjaw, Wizard of Weapons, as Tutsu Imperial Champion. I have to be honest with you, the one that has my super interest in here would be Tila, just because it gives everything haste, and that would be one I would love to put into the Universes Beyond deck. So that might be something I might want to just pick up the singles for, or possibly, hopefully I could get that at a decent price. Same price as before. And is that the last one? Yeah, okay, that is the last one that we have here. And then the last one is going to be sold separately, where we end up having a Battle Cat, which is a reskin of Fortune, Loyal Steed, Panther, Savage Cat, which is a reskin of Frog Monster, or not Monster, Giltrog, Ravenous Ride. And then we have the Bone Throne, which is a reprint of the Throne of the God Pharaoh. Oh man, I just picked up one of those. Dang it. The Sword of Power, which is a reskin of the Sword of War and Peace. This is kind of a letdown because this has been printed a few times, and honestly, it's probably one of the weaker ones of the swords. Your equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and white. And since if you're going to run that in your Winona, it'd be protection from itself, so you can end up targeting it with spells or abilities of that. So beware. The command tower, however, is amazing. This is definitely something I'd be super interested in too. So I got Battle Cat. Battle Cat's my favorite character out of the bunch. The Bone Throne and the command tower. This is a maybe, but we'll see what's on the other side. Snake Mountain? Yep, it is Snake Mountain. I definitely would have it on the Castle Grayskull. That probably would, this commander tower will probably end up replacing one of the other command decks out, the ones I end up liking. All these have the cost of $29.99 or $40 as a foil. So they're coming over with a power where you can get everything. This is that secret drop. You can get everything for the cost of $334.99. They normally cut it down a little bit cheaper for you, and that's why you end up getting that kind of deal, and that would have it all. This has everything, foil edition and non-foil edition. For the Honor of Grayskull foil bundle, it's $199. I Have the Power non-foil bundle is $150. And that's what you end up going. It's important to be saying this is coming out later on in next month, I believe. Let's see if we could dig it up here. Enter the pre. This is giving you the steps, but when is this dropping? September 14th. So we got a little bit of time to be able to plan out what we end up wanting. Like I said, though, with the secret layers, they're normally set to once they sell out, they sell out. We kind of got spoiled with the last couple where they ended up being print to order. Yeah, I have friends that ended up ordering that one that ended up having the finale of Devastation, and it got pushed back until next year to when they actually get in that. But as far as that goes, that would be a newer Secret Lair that has been announced, and that's definitely something that may be going down the alley. And let us know if that's something that you're interested into, and let us know if you've picked up any Secret Lairs. Also, for a third and final thing to do, if you do pick up Secret Lairs, what's one that you're looking for? What's one that will immediately get you to be like, oh, I gotta be waiting in line. I gotta get that. I have to have that. Put that all down in the comments down below. And until next time, we'll see you later.